You're listening to Seraphina Speaks for Children Who Think, the show that delivers you my take on topics that are important. I'm your host, Seraphina Melina Durbin. Let's go right ahead to the show, shall we? If you listened into Pyjama Weirdisms 1, you'll know I uncovered a couple of pyjama dilemmas. Where to store your PJs in the day, and whether wearing them outside of the home is okay or not. Today, I bring you an even more sensitive dilemma. Some would call it a controversial PJ topic. I'm Seraphina Melina Durbin, and this is Seraphina Speaks, a show for children who think. This podcast questions social norms. I often unpick basic everyday things that we take for granted. Pyjamas are a good example. I'll cut to the chase. Do you wear underwear under your PJs? In other words, do you go pantless in bed or not? Quick reminder, in British English, the word pants is used to mean what Americans call underpants. I'll also be using the words undies and knickers to mean the same thing. Underwear under pyjamas causes a social media storm. How is this even a question? I'm flabbergasted. Why wear underwear under pyjamas? I don't wear them myself, and I'm trying to understand why anyone would want to, or need to. Emma Barnett, host of Radio 4's Woman's Hour show, says she always wears pants under her PJs. Holly Willoughby, host of TV show This Morning, doesn't wear knickers at night. Going commando or not, that is the debate. Listeners, commando is going pantless, knickerless, zero undies. We're thinking specifically about going commando or not with pyjamas. One YouGov survey found 69% of Brits, particularly girls and women, wear knickers under their pyjamas. Understandable for maybe a few days a month, during periods, but for the rest of the weeks? Why such a high number? We'll come back to this. Next, info on a podcast I'm listening to and love. When a podcast makes the New York Times, it's going to be good or awful. The one I'm introducing you to today was described as packed with earworms and made with heart. I wondered what an earworm was. It's sticky music or stuck song syndrome, a catchy or memorable piece of music or saying that stays in a person's mind, even after it's no longer being played. As an aside, I heard Rick Astley singing "Never Going to Give You Up" on repeat in my head. It's a good song. Back to my podcast review. Ear Snacks is built for kids aged 2 to 7. I disagree. Sure, your younger siblings can listen in, and they'll love the music and songs. They're adorable. Hosts Andrew and Polly explore everyday life across loads of topics. Whether they're covering science, culture, arts or music, there's something ever so lovable about what they say and how they say it. You know those people in life that make you smile whenever you see them? They don't have to do anything. The atmosphere on the Ear Snacks show reminds me of that warm, lovely feeling. But it's not only the feel that pulls me in, the content is brilliant. One of my favourite episodes is called Moustaches, and Andrew and Polly chat about upper lip hairstyle choices. The question, who can have a moustache, is at the heart of this episode. Side note, my sister was growing her monobrow this year. In this episode, Polly shares a special accent. It's a good one, and lots of creative tips on where to put moustaches. This episode gets into a discussion about gender identity through a conversation with moustache-owning filmmaker Sally Rubin. I've not yet seen her film Mama Has a Moustache. That's on my to-do list. It took me a while to think what I wanted to ask the hosts. Here's my question. Andrew and Polly, which Ear Snacks episode has a favourite place in your heart, and why?
Hey, Seraphina.
Hi, Seraphina. Thanks for wanting to talk about ear snacks on your podcast.
We love that you love our show, and we love that you love the mustaches episodes.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Me too. I have a mustache right now.
When I put it on, I did it by putting my finger over my lip. When I put it on, it immediately made my voice change like this.
Polly, Seraphina's wondering which Ear Snacks episode has a special place in your heart.
Well, it really depends on how I'm feeling.
Oh.
So if I'm feeling kind of sleepy and cozy, then I like the episode about rain.
Oh, that's a nice one.
And if I'm feeling kind of funny and I want to play a game, I like Bad Guys, especially Bad Guys Part 2.
Yeah, we interviewed a neuroscientist on that episode.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
I like the series we did on strings, where we talked about tin can phones and yo-yos.
Yeah.
And of course, all the stringed instruments that our friends play.
Musical strings. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite episode for when you want to move your body and like dance and like run around and...
Well, there's moves, of course.
Oh, yeah. Moves is good for that.
Oh, and steps. We talked to professional tap dancer, Sarah Reich, and we talked to conceptual artist, John Baldessari.
Legend.
About the steps to making modern art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if Seraphina has a special episode of her podcast that has a special place in her heart.
What do you think, Seraphina? We'd love to hear what your favorite episode of Seraphina Speaks is.
Thanks for having us on your show.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodness, Andrew and Polly, I'm feeling so lucky you shared that brilliant variety of your favourite episodes with us. Thank you. See what I mean, everyone? These two are an infectious pair. Thanks for putting me on the spot. I rather like an early episode on Seraphina Speaks called Nipples. I question why men and boys walk around in public with no tops on, whereas girls and women can't do that. More recently, I'd say my first Being a Tween hair episode. I don't want to spoil things. Let's just say I tell the story of Bob the Hare, who eventually was joined by friends. Andrew and Polly, thanks for coming on Seraphina Speaks. Keep doing the amazing things you're doing. From Pyjama Weirdisms episode 1, we know Horatio, one of my triplet brother's sidekicks, doesn't ever wear PJs. He finds many clothes uncomfy, underwear included. It's a sensory thing.
That's right, Seraphina. Pants under PJs. No way.
Montgomery, can you come here? I want to know what you think about people wearing pants under their PJs.
You're lying. That's ridiculous. Why does anyone wear pants under pyjamas? Someone give me a good reason.
I asked around and my correspondents told me their views. First, here's Raphael again. We heard from him in the first pyjama episode.
I don't wear anything because I'm a big boy.
Fascinating idea that not wearing pants under PJs is being grown up. It stacks up with one study that found only 16% of men wear pants in bed, and when they do, it's loose boxer shorts, but they're not under pyjamas. Let's hear more. Raphael's mum asks his little brother Beau what he wears under his pyjamas.
I wear nappy.
Thank you, Beau. It'll be interesting to see if you wear undies under your pyjamas when you get bigger. Listeners, it gets even better. Beau asked his mum, Lucy, the big question.
What do you wear?
I wear knickers.
Thank you, Raphael, Beau, and their mum Lucy for sharing. Raphael is in team no undies, Lucy is in team undies, and Beau, let's just know what you choose. Let's look at some health concerns. Doctors say wearing underwear keeps moisture close to genitals. This means bacteria and yeast can grow, which can cause infection. But for some people with skin conditions that make them itch at night, wearing undies helps them not scratch as much. Here's what I find interesting. M&S, one of the UK's biggest shops, started selling sleep knickers a couple of years ago. Guess who they're for? Girls and women. Correct me if I'm wrong, disliking of seams isn't gender specific. Needing to be warm and cozy isn't gender specific. I'm wondering if there's some kind of dislike for female bodily fluids. There's no right or wrong with this topic. If you like wearing undies under your pyjamas, that's tremendous. If, like me, you don't usually wear undies under your pyjamas, that's tremendous too. Most important, keep questioning those norms in your everyday life. Maybe take this topic up with a teacher you know will organise a good conversation about it. You could always try out the opposite of what you usually do. That could be fun. Listeners, look out for the behind the scenes bulletin episode on this week's topic. My learning, the bits that didn't make it, that kind of thing. Listen into the lowdown. Don't forget, if you'd like to join my correspondent team, all you have to do is, first, leave a review for this show on your fave podcast app. Then take a screenshot and send it to me at Seraphina@seraphinaspeaks.com. That's Seraphina@seraphinaspeaks.com. Then I'll be in touch with you with more info about being on my show. Next week's episode is called Reframing Bad Habits. I'll bring you my thoughts on some of the most common habits kids have, the ones that people think we should get rid of. Tune in to hear why we must reframe the way we think about these so-called bad habits. I hope you'll join me. Thanks for listening, everyone. Remember, smash that subscribe button and tell your friends, family and teachers to listen in too. Till then, take care. Wow, I hope you enjoyed the show, everybody. If you like what you hear, click the subscribe button. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to leave me a review at iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts, because then more people can find my podcast.